Perception and communication. Perception is the process of selecting, organizing, and interpreting information. This process affects our communication because we respond to stimuli differently, whether they are objects or persons, based on how we perceive them. Given the massive amounts of stimuli taken in by our senses, we only select a portion of the incoming information to organize and interpret. We select information based on salience. We tend to find salient things that are visually or aurally stimulating and things that meet our needs and interest. Expectation also influence what information we select. We take the information through all five of our senses, but our perceptual field, the world around us, includes so many stimuli that it is impossible for our brains to process and make sense of it all. So, the information comes in through our senses. Various factors influence what actually continues on through the perception process. Selecting is the first part of the perception process, in which we focus our attention on certain incoming sensory information. Think about how, out of many other possible stimuli to pay attention to, you may hear a familiar voice in the hallway, see a pair of shoes you want to buy from across the mall, or smell something cooking for dinner when you get home from school. We quickly cut through and push to the background all kinds of sights, smells, sounds, and other stimuli, but how we decide what we select and what to leave out? Well, we tend to pay attention to information that is salient. Salience is the degree to which something attracts our attention in a particular context. The thing attracting our attention can be abstract, like a concept, or concrete, like an object. Organizing is the second part of the perception process, in which we sort and categorize information that we perceive based on innate and learned cognitive patterns. Three ways we sort things into patterns are by using proximity, similarity, and difference. In terms of proximity, we tend to think that things that are close together go together. For example, have you ever been waiting to be helped in a business and the clerk assumes that you and the person standing beside you are together? The slightly awkward moment usually ends when you and the person in line look at each other, then back at the clerk, and one of you explains that you are not together. Even though you may have never met the other person in your life, the clerk used a basic perceptual organizing cue to group you together because you were simply standing in proximity to one another. We also group things together based on similarity. We tend to think similar looking or similar acting things belong together. I have two friends that I occasionally go out with, and we are all three males, around the same age, and the same race, with veil, and also glasses. I'm sorry, I'm about to talk all three females, okay. Aside from that, we don't really look alike, but on more than one occasion, a server at restaurant has assumed that we are sisters. Despite the fact that many of our other features are different, the salient features are organized based on similarity, and the three of us are suddenly related. We also organize information that we take in based on difference. In this case, we assume that the item that looks or acts different from the rest doesn't belong with the group. Perceptual errors involving people and assumptions of difference can be especially awkward if not offensive. Although selecting and organizing incoming stimuli happens very quickly and sometimes without much conscious thought, interpretation can be a much more deliberate and conscious step in the perception process. Interpretation is the third part of the perception process in which we assign meaning to our experiences using mental structures known as schemata. Schemata are like databases of stored, related information that we use to interpret new experiences. We all have fairly complicated schemata that have developed over time as small units of information combined to make more meaningful complexes of information. It is important to be aware of schemata because our interpretation affects our behavior. For example, if you are doing a group project for class and you perceive a group member to be shy based on your schemata of how shy people communicate, you may avoid giving him presentation responsibilities in your group project because you don't think shy people make good public speakers. Schemata also guide our interaction, providing a script for our behavior. We know, in general, how to act and communicate in a waiting room, in a classroom, on a first date, and maybe on a game show. In summary, we have schemata about individuals, groups, places, and things, and this schemata filter our perceptions before, during, and after interaction. As schemata are retrieved from memory, they are executed like computer programs or applications on your smartphone to help us interpret the world around us. Just like computer programs and apps must be regularly updated to improve their functioning, competent communicators update and adapt their schemata as they have new experiences. Okay, thank you for watching and see you in the next learning videos.